There are so many benefits for veterans right here in our community, and it's important that they know what they are and how to have access to them. Here to tell us more about that is VSO Michael Wilson. Thank you so much for joining us in the studio today.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me.
Of course. So can you briefly tell us who you are and what does it mean to be a local veteran representative in the state of Louisiana?
Yes, ma'am. So my name is Michael Wilson, and I work for Louisiana Department of Veteran Affairs, and it is my job to assist veterans in getting their benefits, understanding what their benefits are, and helping them navigate through the world when it comes to filing claims for the VA. So as a veteran service officer, it is when they come to me and they walk into my office, a lot of people come in lost, not understanding what they're allowed to get, what they can have, what's available to them. So it's my job to break down and tell them, hey, this is what you're allowed to have. Let's do this. Let me help you walk through this series of events, and let me just help you navigate that.
Definitely. And one of the things that you really have been passionate about telling those communities is about Title 29.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell us more about what that is and why it's important to the veteran workforce?
So when it comes to understanding what Title 29 is, so Title 29 is a benefit that the veteran has to give to the dependent. Once you give it to the dependent, it is then the dependent's benefit. But as a veteran, for me personally, the reason why I'm so passionate about it is because I didn't have the opportunity to go to college until I joined the military. Well, so for people like myself and my kids, my son gets to start college now, like without having any debt or anything like that, right? And so with him having the opportunity to use Title 29, he can go to college for free in the state of Louisiana, any state college. Has to be a state college like your LSU's. He's now currently at Southeastern, as a matter of fact. But he has the opportunity to go to college and come out of college debt free, so he gets even footing, to be able to start in the workplace and in the world, better. And it doesn't just have to be a 4-year college per se, right? There's an approved list, like River Parish College has certain programs that you can use. So they have like an HVAC program. So we need HVACs out here in this world, right? So, so they also have different programs, and I don't know them all off the top of my head, but I just did one for somebody to be able to use it for the HVAC program. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a 4-year college. What we like to say is you get 5 years to get a 4-year degree.
Right.
So,
So let's get into who qualifies. That kind of talked about the training and opportunities that are available. Things like HVAC and usable careers fall under this. So it's really important that people know that. Who qualifies for these Title 29 opportunities?
So anytime a veteran comes in my office and they're 90% rated or above. So 90% rated just means that on your VA rating, you're 90%. You don't necessarily have to be 100%. A lot of people think that you have to be 100% to use Title 29. What you have to be 100% to use, which is another educational benefit that goes to your dependent, is Chapter 35. That's a federal benefit that you can use at a college, and it pays a dependent a stipend a month to be able to use that. But with Title 29, you have to be 90% or above on your rating. And so to qualify for that, if you're not rated already, to qualify for it, you just got to go see your VSO, right? And have your VSO do claims for you. And once you get up to that 90%, then in the state of Louisiana, you qualify for Title 29.
Awesome. So how does Title 29 help veterans transition from military service to civilian employment?
So when it comes to when it comes to the dependent, it's not. So it's for the dependent. So when it comes to the dependent using the Title 29, it helps them be able to transfer and get a degree and be able to use that in the civilian world, right? So in a sense, the veteran is the one that went through it. The veteran is the one that, like we all struggle through our service to help our kids. And so that is what it is used for. But it helps your kids. So like my son, he's getting a degree in business management and marketing and business management. So when he comes out in the world, right, he's going to be able to go to a job with at least that on his resume, right? And it helps him just get his foot in the door, right? That's all you want to do is get your foot in the door. Now, once you get there, you have to do the work, of course, right? But that's what we're trying to help along with that.
Definitely. And I know that it has such a local impact. How are Title 29 opportunities making a difference for veterans in the local community? And you specifically represent Ascension Parish.
Yes. So in Ascension Parish, I would like to get out more, and because, like I always say, you know, people sometimes just don't have the money to send their kids to college, right? So if I can take, and it's not me, but if I can help them get to 90% or higher, right? Which is why I try to encourage people to come into my office. Because a lot of veterans, you just don't know what's available to you. So if I can get out there, or if the message is telling people, just go talk to your VSO, right? Just go talk to your VSO, ask him what's available to you. And even if you're 10% now rated.
So are these programs limited to recently separated veterans, or can longtime veterans, benefit from Title 29?
So when it comes to who's it available to, it's not limited to, as long as you're a veteran. It could be, I've helped people who are from Vietnam, right? As long as your kids are within the age parameter of it. I've helped them do Title 29s for their kids as well. But I've also helped recent veterans as well, like myself. I got out, I retired 4 years ago. So, so anybody who is a veteran, right? As long as you are rated a 90% or higher, and there are certain qualifications that need to be met and certain things that need to be brought and stuff like that. Now, if we want to talk about like just what that entails, you have to be a Louisiana resident for at least a year, for at least 365 days. That is really the number one thing right there, what's going to qualify you.
Making sure that you've been a Louisiana resident for a year.
Yes.
Definitely. So that's really good information.
Yes.
And so we're talking about being a Louisiana resident. Let's take it local. From parish to parish, how does it help veterans in the local community? You are the VSO for Ascension Parish.
Right. So in Ascension Parish specifically, when it comes to, if it's the VSO's job when they walk in to be able to tell the veteran and the dependent what's available to them. So that's how it's going to help. Now, when it comes to helping people get into the office, my office, or any VSO office, we just kind of got to spread the word about it a little bit more, because when people hear, oh wait, they can do this, it then encourages them to be able to come into the office. And so that's what I think I'm gonna say that we have to do a better job at doing that. Mm-hmm. And I hope I'm not misspeaking when I say that, but I think that I try to educate everybody on it. I try to educate everybody on all the benefits that are available to you when you come into my office, because that's my job, right? It's not like you might walk in my job and ask me for a hunting and fishing license, right? But you might not know that there's 6 other things that you can get. So it is my job to say, hey, do you have this? Are you able to get this? You can get this, this, and this too as well. And once you tell people that, it encourages them to come back into your office more. And so that's really what my job is.
So what are some of the next steps that a veteran should take if they're interested in Title 29 opportunities for their dependent, right?
Right, yes. So when it comes to the next steps that you should do, one, there are a couple different items that you have to bring. You got to make sure that you have your DD-214. You got to make sure that you have your benefit summary and service verification letter. That's the benefit summary and service verification letter, which tells us everything that we need to know as a VSO. You got to make sure that you were a Louisiana resident for 365 days. You got to make sure that your driver's license is updated, has to be a year. Everything that you bring in has to be a year. So your car registration has to be a year. If you're registered to vote, has to be a year. Driver's license a year. Everything that you come in, it has to at least show that you've been a resident in Louisiana for a year.
And where can veterans go to find out more about this or learn more about what they need to qualify in a more in-person scenario?
Right. So you can either come to your local VSO office, your local VAC office. Mine here, I am in Gonzales, across the street from East Ascension, but also I'm in Donaldsonville at 300 Homer Street, which is the courthouse. But just find Google, really, I know that sounds crazy. Google your local VA office and just go sit down and have a seat. Just go sit down and have a seat. Just go sit down and have a talk with them about your benefits, and ask questions, right? Because you have to educate yourself, but also sometimes you just got to ask the VA, you got to ask the VSO questions. Even though we are considered to be the SMEs, right, of this, which is the subject matter experts, a lot of times you see so many people, sometimes it's just not on your mind to be able to say something, because somebody might come see you, for one benefit, and you might completely forget about all the other benefits, right? So ask questions. Hey, is there anything that I'm missing? Is there anything that I'm not getting? Is there anything that I don't know about? Those are the questions to me that after I explain to people in detail what you're open to, sometimes somebody asks me that and I'm like, oh, you know what? I forgot to talk about this. So definitely just go talk to your VA representative in your local parish and have a seat with them, have a conversation with them.
And you said personally, this has benefited you and your family as a veteran. If you could speak directly to the residents or to veterans, what encouraging words could you give them to say, hey, it's not scary to come check out your VSO or to learn more about this programming? How could you encourage them to dive more into Title 29 and its benefits?
Right. So, so a lot of people, and I've had people come into my office, the one thing that keeps them from going into a VA office is, unfortunately, some of them have bad experiences. Now, not in the VA, not in our VA offices, but dealing with the VA. That's a whole nother topic. But when you guys come and see us, at the end of the day, I'm a veteran just like they're veterans, right? I'm a person just like you're a person. And so for me, I love the fact that I get to give my son, both my sons, the chance to start in the world without having a massive debt to worry about. So he gets to go to college, and right now, like I said, he's at Southeastern. So he's staying on campus, which his Chapter 35 helps pay for that. So that's not money out of my pocket. The Title 29 covers everything under the umbrella that is considered to be the tuition. So whatever that college considers to be their tuition, whatever that entails, that's what Title 29 covers. And then at the end of the day, it's a state benefit. And I know some people have the thought process of not coming into the VA office. And I get this question a lot of, I don't deserve it, or other people deserve it more than me. What I tell people is, every time they come into my office, especially when you come to filing benefits, is you fought for it, right? You need to use it, right? Because you deserve it, right? And if you don't use it and you don't deserve it, that's how things get taken away from us. So I'm like, from veterans or whatever the case it is, right? Because if there's a certain number that we're trying to reach and we don't reach that number, whatever, through the VA, that's how we begin to lose things. So at least put your name in the system, right? And then see where you can go from there. And even if you just get yourself talking about the state benefits, all of the Louisiana state benefits start at 50%, right? So that's your free airport parking. That is your hunting and your fishing. That is your state parks. You go to state parks for free. That is your Louisiana license plate. That is, you can get your driver's license for free. You can get your property taxes start at 50%. That's off the top of my head. And then once you get to that 90%, then that's when the educational benefit starts for the Title 29. And then once you get to 100%, that's when the Chapter 35 can kick in for the stipend that you're giving your kids. And if you think about it, when it comes to going into your VA office and talking to your VSO, yes, Title 29 starts at 90%. But if you get to 100%, right, in Chapter 35, you can use it to get, for instance, with Chapter 35, right? You can do it in high school. There's a certain amount of money that you get in high school with Chapter 35. I use that to get my son a car. So once again, that's not money that's out of my pocket. That's money that came from me being a veteran, him being a dependent. We were able to get him a car because of that, right? So, and then I tell people with the stipend that they gives them a month, it allows them to go to college and not have to go to college and worry about working. They can go to college, focus on their studies, right? And in turn, that helps them be stress-free. So he doesn't have to, if he wants to work, he can work, but he doesn't necessarily have to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know that sounds I don't want that to sound privileged, because it's not, right? But that's something that I earned
Correct.
for him to use.
Correct.
Right? So I want him to be better than me. So for me to make him better than me, or for me to allow him to be better than me, I need to give him a foot up. And so my way of giving him the foot up is by making sure that I give him all of the benefits that he is now entitled to for being my dependent.
Definitely. And I think that in itself is encouraging for people to reach out and to know that they have someone knowledgeable and experienced in this and all things veteran services to come and talk to.
Yes, ma'am.
Where can people go? Is there a website
so
for more
Louisiana
information?
Department of Veteran Affairs is our website to be able to go and find all of your state benefits. And then really, like I said, I know it sounds funny, but Google local VA office in Ascension Parish, or local VA office in Tangible Hope Parish, and find out what their hours are, because some of us, like I have 2 offices, so find out what the hours are for the office and just go sit down and have a conversation with them. Nothing bad can ever come from having a conversation, right? Maybe you don't qualify, right? But don't you make that assumption. Go to them, have a conversation, and let that VA representative help you. Let that VSO help you. Let us speak for you. I like to tell people, look, I'm a fighter, so I fight for my people. And so I like to figure out how I can help you.
Right.
And the best ways that I can help you is by you coming in my office and allowing me to take that burden off of you.
Right.
And give it to me. Let me fight for you. Right. And so that's what I do.
Definitely. Well, we will have your information. We're going to get that from you, and we're going to pop it on the screen, because you don't want to miss out talking to someone like Mike. He's invested, he's experienced, and he knows the benefits that he can help get veterans and get you exactly what you need to just have a more fruitful life for you and your family.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for your service.
Appreciate you.
And if you're a veteran watching this, thank you for your service. And if you're not, pass the word along. They are great benefits for our veterans. That information to get to the Ascension Parish Veteran Service Office will be on your screen. We'll see you next time.